Greetings everybody, and welcome to our first video on vectors. So what we're asked to do in this problem is to find the magnitude of the resultant force when we have one force of magnitude 45 pounds acting in one direction, a force of magnitude 52 pounds acting in another direction, where the angle between those two vectors is going to be 25 degrees. So how do we go about finding this value? So what we can do is to take one of those vectors and we can slide it along the end until we kind of see, all right, we put one at the end of the other, basically forming a parallelogram. So what we have is our first vector of 45 pounds, and then we imagine applying our second vector of 52 pounds. Our resultant vector is then just going to be the vector that's going to be the sum of those two vectors. So that's our resultant vector, r. Now, how do we get the magnitude of that vector? Well, the angle between our two vectors is still going to remain, as we slide that down, is still going to remain a value of 25 degrees. And so that tells us that the angle inside that triangle is just going to be the supplement, or it's really going to be 155 degrees. Now, what this gives us then is really two sides and the angle in between of a triangle. So if we want the length of the opposite side, now we turn to our law of cosines. So basically, with our law of cosines, we have this. If we have any old triangle, doesn't really matter what that triangle looks like, and it's got sides A, B, and C, and we know that we have the angle theta between sides A and B. Then we have the relationship that c squared is going to be a squared plus b squared minus 2ab times the cosine of the angle in between those two sides. So what this means really for our forces is that we kind of have the following picture. So we have one side of size 45 pounds, another side of size 52 pounds. The angle between them is going to be 155 degrees, and for the opposite side, we need to know the magnitude of the resultant. And so, according to our law of cosines, we have the magnitude, the square of the magnitude of the resultant, then is just going to be 45 squared plus 52 squared minus 2 times 45 times 52 times the cosine of the angle between those two sides, or 155 degrees. So what this then tells us is that the magnitude of r, when we kind of plug that in, take the square root of both sides, we find that we have for the magnitude of r of